We recently took the first cruise on the Norwegian Luna out of Miami. In this video, we're going to give you a complete ship's tour. Stick around to the end of the video and we will tell you about our favorite and least favorite things and give you important tips to have the most fun on your cruise.
Hi y'all, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Becky.
And together we're a cruising good time. The Norwegian Luna is the newest cruise ship within NCL Cruise Lines. She's a second of the Prima Plus class. She's about 156,000 tons, carries 3,565 passengers. As with all our ship's tour videos, we're going to start at the lowest public deck and proceed up. And on each deck we'll go from the stern to the bow in a logical order so you always know where you're at on board.
If you love cruising as much as we do and want to stay on top of the news, please give us a subscribe. We publish weekly. Let's get started with that tour. We start our tour in the aft part of Deck 6 at the Swirl Wine Bar.
Yeah, this is a neat little bar.
I love how the lighting they use just gives a little more elegance and really helps with the decor.
Yeah. Right ahead of that is the whiskey bar. This bar has a fantastic assortment of different types of whiskeys.
Yes, and they make very, very nice drinks. It's a terrific place to have a nightcap and, just enjoy other people's company.
Right adjacent to that is the Commodore room. This is one of the two main dining rooms on board the ship.
This dining room is a little bit more casual than the other one. I had an outstanding meal here. The service was really, really good.
I like those little round windows, kind of a little bit nautical feel.
Yeah, that makes it fun.
Hasaki, right across the hall from that, is the hibachi grill, and it is huge.
Look at this. I think there's 14 tables in here.
I think that's right, yeah.
They can serve a lot of people. This is very, very popular with a lot of the guests.
The Improv is the improv room.
So they have comedy shows here, and then they bring in other things such as karaoke, etc.
Yeah, there's something going on here all the time. Across the ship from that is one of the two pits for the casino. The casino's huge on that one. They have a few table games right here about midship. All the regular games, blackjack, three-card poker.
Yeah, and then they have a huge selection of slot machines as you're walking forward.
Yeah, you got to walk through a lot of slots. This is the second pit. This one's up by the atrium.
So this is where that they have the craps and the roulette here.
I was disappointed that the crap table had a $25 minimum, which is very high for a cruise ship, I felt.
Yeah, and so if you put, if you bet the come line and put odds behind it, that's $75 per row of the dice.
Yep.
One
neat thing they do have behind these doors is a smoker's casino. They have about 24 slot machines back here and two tables, one blackjack table and one three-card poker table. And they have his high limit room right there too. These are $100 tables, one blackjack table and one baccarat table.
Yeah, they have a lot of casino on this ship.
There's the Players Club. This is up by the atrium on deck 6, so this is the bottom floor of the atrium.
This area is really, really quite lovely. The atrium here is different because they don't, instead of having the entertainment in the center of the atrium, it's tucked away on each floor, but they'll only have a band on one floor at a time. So you can hear the music and go and follow the band or just sit down and enjoy your conversations on other floors.
I was kind of disappointed with all the whites on there. It's pretty sterile.
I at least like that they had the lighting to brighten it up.
Going forward, we have the Luna Theater. This is a very versatile theater.
I love this theater. We've been on over 40 cruises, and this is my favorite theater.
One of the versatilities of this is that they can have stadium seating for like a traditional show, but then pull those back kind of like a high school bleacher system, and then you have a big open area for dancing or whatever you would need that versatile area for.
Yes, sometimes they make this into a nightclub.
Moving aft on deck 7, we have Hudson's. This is the second of the main dining rooms on board. And this one's really nice because you have a 180-degree view of the ocean off the backside.
I love this dining room. I love the lighting. I love all the views. We had really terrific meals here and fantastic service.
Yeah, it was a good place to eat. Le Bistro is one of the premium restaurants. It's a French restaurant. We ate there one night. It was very good.
I really enjoyed the French meal. The motif is not so French.
Nama is a sushi bar. It literally is a sushi bar, kind of in the Japanese style there. Metropolitan is what I'd call the martini bar on board, is a midship bar. It was good. They had a good drink there.
And they sometimes would have a piano player there, you know, who sang, and it was fabulous music, and people loved it. It had a lot of dance action there on its small dance floor.
Cagney's is a steakhouse. It's one of the specialty dining venues. It was difficult to get reservations on this.
This is a very, very popular restaurant.
Moving forward, you have the Humidor. This is a cigar lounge. You can buy cigars in there and enjoy them. Sid Norman's Poorhouse is a midship bar, and it was kind of neat. They had a area where they had some bands, or they do karaoke in here, or other presentations.
This place stays hopping.
This band's name is Sonata. We really enjoyed them on board the ship. They did a great job.
So moving through, we have various ships, like if you wanted to buy smokes or duty-free liquor.
This is also just the various sundry shop or the logo shop. In case you need something that says NCL, they'll fix you up with it.
They had other clothing as well.
Quite a few shops on this area in deck 7 as you move between midship towards the atrium.
Yeah, a huge selections of sunglasses here. And here they have Effie on actually 2 different floors. Here's the Effie shop here, and then they'll have the mandatory one on the floor above.
Moving into the atrium here, we have the Cruise Next. This is our future cruise program, so you get some discounts if you buy it in advance, or the shore excursion desk right here off the atrium. This is guest services. You could not communicate the guest services in the NCL app, so you'd have to stand in line if you need to talk to them.
So a Starbucks drink is not included in the Free at Sea package, but it is included in the Free at Sea Plus package.
Then we have the Internet Cafe right here in case you have some difficulty connecting to the ship's Wi-Fi. On the second floor of the Luna Theater. The Luna Theater has 3 decks. It's 6, 7, and 8. This is the middle seating area, so this is coming on top of that stadium seating we showed you a while ago. I like these little cup holders they had because it actually accommodated a wine glass.
That was handy. Yeah, and we saw a variety of shows there and enjoyed the entertainment. We'll do another video that talks in more detail about the entertainment aboard the ship.
Yeah, very good productions with the Eagles tribute and the Elton John show. Moving all the way back on deck 8 is the Indulge Food Hall.
This is a very interesting venue. So at breakfast, they just have stations set up with different food, and you can walk around and get your breakfast items. And during other designated times, you sit down and use the keypad at your table, and you can order food from a variety of stations, and they're just dropped off at your table. It's pretty convenient.
It is, and it's a big selection. You know, obviously they have the Noodle House and have some Indian food. They have a Texas Smokehouse, some tapas, we'll show you in a second. A lot of different variety here. It's all small plates.
Yeah, this was simple and easy to do. However, at lunchtime, it's pretty crowded and it may be difficult to get a seat.
Yep. I like some of the decor though. It's a kind of fun environment.
It is. It's different than other cruise ships, so that makes it fun, especially fun.
Yep. They actually have a lot of seating outside here. This is completely full at lunchtime on a sea day. The aft view bar, this bar has a fantastic view of the wake as you're underway.
I love to sit back, relax, and watch that wake.
It's a little wind block was quite effective here. It blocked some of the wind while you're underway.
I love this ocean boulevard where you can walk all the way around the ship. Yep. And they have 2 infinity pools, one on each side of the ship. They're pretty small, but that is another place that you can take a dip other than the main pool on deck 17.
A little splash pool area with some couches on it. I like this little Luna moon. You can get some pictures with. There's always a line to get some pictures on that.
Yeah, great Instagram moment.
Exactly. The local bar is a midship, but just forward of the food hall. It's open 24 hours a day.
It has some limited selection at night, but I'm really happy to have that 24-hour-a-day possibility.
Yep. One side is a bar, the other side is you sit down and have some food. And it has this outside sitting area as well. And it's right here by where the drop slide comes out.
Los Lobos is a Mexican food restaurant. It has a very fun decor, and we've heard great things about it.
It also has some outside seating right here too.
I love the outdoor seating they have on Ocean Boulevard.
Moving forward, there's a photo gallery. They use face recognition on board here, so you just badge your card on those screens and then it'll bring up all your pictures. You don't have to wade through rows and rows of pictures like the old days.
You know, and they have the obligatory, you know, art section because they will be having art auctions.
All the time. Little cubby holes to sit there in that window.
I thought they were adorable.
Perspective is a high-end photo studio if you want to do that. I have watches right here. This is Breitling store. This is just right off the atrium. Next door is the tag store, so you can get plenty of high-end watches here.
So next door to that, so here we have different beauty supplies. So if you've forgotten something from home or you just want something tax-free, you could drop in.
This is looking at the atrium from up on the top floor on deck 8. I have a band going here, and like Becky said, they have entertainment going most of the times with this bar right here.
Well, they'll have a band on one of the floors all the time, and you may have to switch floor if you want to see eyesight with the band.
Good place to hang out and work on your YouTube channel there.
And here is, you know, more fine watches that you could purchase, so as well as other Effie jewelry.
Yeah, this is one of the larger Effie jewelry shops I've seen on any cruise ship, at least in terms of square footage.
Yeah, they offer all the typical Effie events, etc., as most of the cruise lines have.
Right off that atrium, this is the Italian restaurant. We ate there one night and it was delicious.
Yes, this food was so fabulous. If you eat here, the one thing to consider is, though, portions are large, so be careful to not overorder.
Yep. We actually sat outside right there in that outside seating area, and the wind was not a problem. It was very pleasant.
Yes, they do such a good job with the wind blocks. You know, when we stepped away to near the rail, we could tell how wonderful those wind blocks were working.
Continuing around the Oceans Boulevard around there, you have the glass walkway part of it. There's plenty of places just to hang out if you want to read a book or just look at the ocean, check it out. This is the bow of the ship.
Yes, I was kind of disappointed that they had all that metal. So like if you're in Antarctica, that they can't ever open the bow and let you out there for good viewing.
Here's the atrium looking down, and you can see all the whites and grays on it right there. Moving forward into the Luna Theater, this is the top deck, so this is basically more or less the mezzanine level at the back. But you can see all the seats have a good view. There's no posts in the middle of the theater or anything like that that's going to obstruct your view.
Yes, you can see when it's great for stadium seating.
This is the entourage. This is one of the kids' lounges on deck 14. We didn't have any children with us, so that's all you see of that. Likewise on deck 15 here. I think this is for the younger kids here.
They had so many things for children.
Deck 16 has the spa, and it is a big spa.
They do. So, you know, the spas are getting fabulous on ships. So this one has, you know, the old obligatory stuff like beauty salons and barber shops. And of course you can get manicures, you know, and you can get pedicures.
It's a very good size. They have these treatment rooms here, massages and stuff. They have a whole menu of them.
In front of that, they have a gym. It has a wide selection of cardiovascular things.
A lot of free weights. Have a spin class right here. It's a very, very comprehensive gym.
Yeah, and I love that you can exercise and get great views of the ocean.
The spa actually extends down to deck 15. You only get to it from within the spa. They have this whole cold pool and a hot pool right there. Becky has to check the water.
Yeah, and they had such a variety of different saunas.
They had a steam room, the charcoal sauna there.
The Finnish sauna.
You had to have a scorecard to keep track of what each one was supposed to be a treatment for. Salt room.
That's a beautiful room.
It is. I call this one the clay room, but I think you could have just called it the brick room.
And they had these fabulous heated chairs.
You always like those heated chairs.
I love those heated chairs. Love this, and the views are just amazing from here.
Yeah, well, here we have the Port of Miami because we're in port. But if you're underway, you can visualize the beautiful ocean in front of you. Couples massages.
This one was cool. That's like hard or hot, coarse sand you could lay in for your massage.
Deck 17 all the way aft. This is a view of the Vibe area. This is an adults only paid area that you have to pay to get access to.
And it has hot tubs on both sides of the ship. Immediately in front of that is the Surfside Grill. So the Surfside Grill has like burgers and hamburgers at lunch, which is kind of weird. Most cruise ships would have this near the pool area instead of at the very back of the cafe. In front of that is the buffet.
And it is extremely crowded. You could not stir them with a stick in that buffet. Every time we went through it, it was like this. It was just super crowded.
You know, at the end of this video, we're going to give you some tips and tricks about this buffet traffic and how to enjoy your meals.
And then the buffet also had an area to eat outside in, and it wasn't much better. This is a Thai restaurant. It's on the starboard side across from the buffet.
Yeah, so this is the aft area right in front of the Vibe.
Moving forward, you got the Palomar right adjacent to that restaurant. This is a Mediterranean place, another specialty dining.
It has a fabulous menu.
It does. And it has an outside seating area right here as well.
I love that.
Had we been on a 7-day cruise, we would have tried that. The Waves pool bar is right by the pool.
So this pool on deck 17 is, you know, it's fairly good sized, and it has a splash area in the front, which is great for dancing at, you know, poolside parties.
They'd have a musician up here playing every once in a while.
Yeah, and they have the big screen, but we didn't see it utilized for movies or anything.
Moving forward, they have this huge arcade right here of every type of game you can imagine. Some virtual realities, pinball, old school games.
So this was the largest arcade that we have seen at sea. And on these games, you could just use your card key to pay for them, and some of them were free.
Yeah, the old ones from my childhood were free. I don't know if it says something or not, but...
But I think this is something that would really appeal to a lot of families.
Yeah, it's quite elaborate. A lot of fun. They have this really cool model right outside there too of the Luna. I thought that's quite elaborate, and I really enjoyed that.
The observation lounge, I thought this was just a lovely venue. So, well, obviously it has terrific views. It has a beautiful bar, and it has like some simple treats that you could eat if, you know, you were just a little bit hungry. It's very reminiscent of the crow's nest on Holland America.
Nice views. In this case, we have the Port of Miami again, but that's okay. I like the decor on it.
It has a great vibe.
Moving back, we have the Bullseye Bar. This is an outdoor bar, but they have these dart areas.
The dart area is a little improved from some of the previous NCL ships. I think it's terrific.
Yep. Moving forward, we have the drop slide where you can get in it, and we showed you exit on deck 8, and they just drop you right out.
It's a dry slide.
This area right here, the Ocean Thrills, is really a nice area. They have this putt-putt golf course, which was the most sophisticated one I've ever seen on any cruise ship.
Yes, and we've been on over 40 cruise ships, and I thought this was the most fun and just the best putt-putt golf course I'd seen.
A lot of electronics, the very elaborate multi-tier sets and all that. A lot of fun up here. The stadium on the other side of the ship is a lot of fun as well.
I thought this was fabulous for everyone, kids, adults, etc.
A table shuffleboard, ping pong, regular shuffleboard, cornhole, beer pong, about everything you can imagine right there. As Luna Midway, you can pay for these. These are more like Midway things, knock down all the dolls with the ball, stuff like that. Moving forward, this is a splash pool. for kiddos and a lot of area to kind of lay out for families and whatnot up here.
I thought this was a terrific area. It's a very nice splash area, and it's very easy to watch your kids while enjoying yourself on this deck.
Deck 19 all the way aft. The putt-putt course actually is on 2 different decks, so I guess this is the back 9, if you will, of the putt-putt course. I have the pickleball court up here. Just 1 court. And then the Aqua slide coaster. This is unique to just the Luna and the Aqua. Here's Becky riding it. You can see they got this catapult that kind of pushes you up to the top of the slide here real quickly, and then you go through a bunch of loops and tubes.
And they have the dry-off station with lighting and wind.
Going forward, you have this Horizon Bar Park. This is just a sun deck up there on the very top. It's kind of above the splash pool area up there where you can get some rays and just kind of chill out.
I like to go up there and look out off into the distance.
Deck 20 and a half, you got this little lounge right around the glow court here.
I love this glow court. I think it is so cool. And they have a touch screen where it's easy to reserve things.
Yep.
As promised, now we're going to talk about our favorite things. So my favorite thing about this ship was the theater. So I thought this was the best design. So many cruise ships now are going the theater in the round, but actually some of the seats don't have great seating.
Right.
I loved this theater. So it could be stadium seating where everybody had a terrific view, or they can pull back some of the seats and open up this large area that you can use for different things, such as you can make this a nightclub at night. We had a good time at the Luna Eclipse party, but I absolutely love this theater. Another thing we really liked about this cruise was the food. Now, a tip for specialty dining. So they are going to open up the ability to get specialty dining before the cruise. As soon as it comes online, jump on that. However, if you miss your opportunity, don't worry. They only fill up 10 to 20% of those before the cruise. So as soon as you get on the ship, try to get in your app, and if that's not working, go get in line as we had to make those specialty dining reservations. We only had to wait, like 5 minutes or so, and we got reservations that we wanted.
It moved very quickly. Yeah, you're right about that.
Another thing that I loved about the ship was the kids programs. So they have wonderful kids programs, and they have so many different activities that families can enjoy together. So I think this would be a fabulous ship for that multi-generational family cruise, which Jeff and I have enjoyed several of those in the past.
One thing I really liked was the cabin. We have a whole nother video on our cabin tour. We'll have a link to that below and a card right there above my head, hopefully, if you're not watching on YouTube TV. And it's a great cabin. We like the balcony and the decor and everything about that.
Now let's talk about our least favorite things on the ship. And so one of my least favorite things was the buffet.
Yeah, the buffet was a mess. Every time we went to the buffet, it was super crowded. It's actually a very small buffet for this size of ship. It's extremely crowded all the time. Not much fun to be in. I would avoid the buffet at all. In fact, I will go as far to say, out of all the cruises I've been on my entire life, it was the worst buffet in terms of traffic I've ever been on. It was just an absolute mess.
Yeah, and it really only runs along the port side and then on the very aft. So on the very aft part of the buffet, this is where they have the burger station, which is very interesting because, so many cruise lines offer a bunch of burgers and hot dogs out by the pool. Here, it was at the very back of the buffet.
Right. And that's an important hint, is that don't cut through the buffet to get to the burger stand. Cut through the middle hallway in the middle, come up those aft stairs or an elevator, and you can come in through the back, get your burger or hot dog right there. Or in breakfast, they have an express area going that way. And then you can eat next door in the Thai restaurant. They'll open that up during lunch and breakfast, so you can spill over in there. Much less crowded. You avoid all the crowds that way, and you don't have to deal with that mess in the buffet.
Yes, and another option and tip is you could also avoid the buffet at breakfast. So at breakfast, you could go down to the Indulge Food Hall. Now, they're going to have all the breakfast items, but they're going to be a bunch of different stations, so you may have to walk a little bit if you want everything. But it's so much more relaxed than that buffet area.
Yep.
So I thought this was a great alternative.
Absolutely.
And we had breakfast in the main dining room, and it was quick, and we enjoyed that as well.
Usually that's my preference, is go to the main dining room for breakfast, unless you're jammed up for a shore excursion or something like that.
We also had a few disappointments about the swimming pools. So the only big pool that's free to everyone is on deck 17. Then there are also 2 free pools. Those are these infinity pools, the 2 of them that are on deck 8 that are fairly small. The very aft portion of deck 16 has an area called the Haven. And so that Haven is for those who have paid extra to have that ship within a ship luxury experience. And it also has a swimming pool, and none of these pools are adults only. The Vibe is the only adults area on the ship, and it does not have a pool, but it does have 2 hot tubs. And note that the pool on deck 17 gets very, very crowded. Our important tip is to get up to deck 17 and start swimming before 10:30 a.m. in the morning, or wait till later in the afternoon when people start getting ready for their early dinners, and come in and get one of the spaces that free up and swim then.
It was absolutely amazing how that pool went from empty to completely full just in a few 10-15 minutes. So get there early and don't miss out. One thing I found disappointing was the lack of dance space in the lounges. All the lounges had a tiny dance floor to dance in, but honestly, I've seen more dancing on a Holland America ship than I have on the NCL ship.
Yes, the only place we really saw a lot of dancing is when they had the Luna Eclipse party in the theater. And there were quite a few people out there partying, and it was a nice vibe in the room.
The crap table minimum was extremely high, in my opinion. At $25 per roll for crap is very, very high for a cruise ship.
Yes, we've been on over 40 cruises. We've never seen anything approaching this amount for the craps table. And I think a lot of other guests must have felt this way also, because there were very few people who were actually playing craps aboard the ship.
Yep.
We hope that you've enjoyed this video and found it useful.
Hey, subscribe to our channel right now, because we publish once a week with very high quality cruise content that you don't want to miss. And we're going to have some more Luna videos coming out as well. So give us a subscribe right away so you don't miss out.
Until next time, have a cruising good time.